Hoo-ha, too-ha!
Hi, my name is Bing, and this is Heroes of Animation, where we investigate success stories from the world of digital animation. This week, I'm meeting Cyriak, a freelance animator whose mesmerizing videos have amassed over 100 million views on YouTube. He started out making simple GIF animations on beta, and now his clients include the BBC, E4, and other broadcasters. You might also notice his unique style in music videos for Block Party, Flying Lotus, and Bonobo.
Yeah, I was familiar with Cyriak. I mean, I'd seen a lot of stuff that I didn't realise was him. I mean, the first thing I saw of his was the video for Eskimo, where he was kind of folding footage of New York streets into squares.
Cyriak's got a very iconic style, hasn't he? I was very surprised to learn he actually did it all in After Effects, which is what we use. Really? And his stuff looks way better. So.
Yeah. Just the sheer technicality behind making these videos is just awe-inspiring sometimes.
I didn't realise that he was the same guy that made all these crazy little kind of borderline disturbing 30-second clips of all this madness.
It's like a fractal of babies and spiders and cats.
It's quite hypnotic, isn't it?
Yeah.
There was one of them at one point, I think it was a sheep, and the sheep's head grows, and then legs grow from the head, and then heads grow from the heads, and then they start spinning, and at one point there's like a Ferris wheel of sheep heads. Crazy.
Welcome to the seaside. I'm here in Brighton, home of the surreal and mesmerizing animator Cyriak, who's going to show me some of his favorite spots, starting with this amusement arcade behind me. Cyriak, right?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Can I play?
Yeah,
Nice.
join in. And prepare to die. I moved to Brighton in 1998 after I finished doing a degree in animation. I didn't really fancy doing any kind of work at the time, so I thought I'll come down to Brighton where I had some mates living and generally messed around for a couple of years. So I used to spend a lot of time playing video games, immersing myself in that kind of world. Eventually I found myself doing a really boring kind of office job, but that kind of introduced me to the internet and Photoshop, and that's how I started getting back into doing animation again. I guess the inspiration behind the kind of sounds I use comes from growing up playing old video games back in the days when they all sounded like kind of beep, 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 beep. It's something about those sounds that I just like. They're just so kind of artificial.
Street Fighter, classic, bring it on. That's not right. This is not right at all. I'm like, my sprite's changing. I crouch and I turn into Ken.
Well, what I do with my animation is I take video footage and photographs and manipulate them in the computer using After Effects. It's kind of a continuation of the cutout animation style, where people used to actually physically cut out photographs and move them around. People like Terry Gilliam used to do that. Now it's all done digitally on the computer, which is a lot easier. I just want to get an idea done as quickly as possible, and that's just the quickest way to animate for me. I used to do a lot of drawing before I did animation, but then I found that if you use a photograph, you don't have to draw the thing, so it's just a lot quicker that way.
I'm gonna go with Mazda because it has a Z in it.
What? What kind of a number plate is that? Well, when I first moved to Brighton, I lived in a really tiny bedsit that was facing the seafront. My window basically looked out onto the sea. It's just a kind of a temptation to reach your hand out and start messing about with them and kind of play God in a way. So that's where the inspiration came for making these animations where I'm kind of manipulating reality. It's just the view from my window. I just thought that's such a great way of taking art a step further than just a painting, to actually make it move. Every frame of the movement is kind of under your direction. There's nobody else involved. There's no cameraman to tell what to do. There's no set to build. Some of my animations, I kind of feel like they're making themselves. I'm just kind of helping them to come into being. Well, the first project I ever did with After Effects was EastEnders. There was a BBC competition for funny videos. They wanted new comedy writers to submit videos to them. I had all these kind of bits and pieces of EastEnders characters mutating into horrible things. And I thought, for a laugh, I'll stick them all into a video and submit it to this competition just to see what they'll say. It was one of the finalists in the competition, and the prize was to go up to the BBC Centre and shake hands with people. One of the contacts I made there ended up commissioning a kind of a sequel to EastEnders called Dead Enders. So that was one of my first big jobs, I suppose, for like TV.
So we're at the Booth Museum now in Brighton. Is this the kind of place that you came to a lot when you were younger?
Yeah, when I was a teenager, this is definitely a good source of inspiration. A kind of collection of life and death, I suppose you could call it.
Yeah.
It's basically just a very old museum. It's a very surreal place to visit. It's full of death and morbid curiosity. These are things that I've always found kind of attractive. So I'd come here to kind of get inspiration for some of my videos, and also to get some source material. There's some good stuff here. There's a human skeleton which I've used in a few of my animations.
There's got to be a lot of interesting stuff here to draw from and to kind of get your ideas going.
Yeah, well, animals are weird. I've always thought of them as being like kind of really deformed, weird-looking people. They're like living cartoon characters. There's something kind of hilariously tragic about their existence because they're kind of just these hairy idiots that stand in a field eating grass all day until we eventually eat them. I just find that really funny. And I think that idea kind of shines through what I do with them. I hope it does anyway. I use a lot of cats in my videos. I do really like cats, and it seems so does the rest of the world because they're always the most popular videos that I make. Cats are funny things to take footage of. The only bit of footage I ever got of my cats that was of any use was of them kind of meowing at me. So I thought, all right, well, if that's all you're going to do, I'm going to just make a whole video out of that. And that's what I ended up doing. The amazing thing is, it seemed to actually be saying something of interest to other cats because people kept posting up videos of their own cats watching that video and just going completely mental. So yeah, it just made me wonder what he was actually saying.
This is my favourite one,
yes.
with all the like pickled embryos and like lizard skins and this thing.
Monsters in jars.
This is a standard like house cat born as a cyclops. It's like something out of a sci-fi or a cartoon. But
Well,
it's
it
real.
kind of demonstrates how the infinite variety of nature is far weirder than anything that I could actually produce. I had two cats at the time, and the other one was kind of looking at me thinking, where's my video then? So I pointed the camera at him, and he just sat there kind of going, First of all, I'd cut him out from the background, and then just finding bits of movement within the video to then translate into other kinds of movements of kind of body parts, and then stitching all these elements together like some kind of Frankenstein's monster, just to see what kind of life form can evolve from my cat. So I kind of then made a little city for him to walk through, and then I thought, well, this is a city, let's give it little cars and little trains, and I was just kind of got carried away building this whole little world. And from there, a video kind of just formed itself. I mean, I take photographs of stuff and mess around with it, and this is like a stage further where we're taking the actual
This is
animals.
what you'll be doing in 5 years' time.
Possibly, who knows? Maybe at some future point I'll be an exhibit in a museum like this. I think my animation is mostly inspired by the weird kids cartoons we used to watch when we were growing up. I mean, I haven't watched any kids' TV for ages, so I don't know what they watch now, but for us it was things like Bagpuss and the Clangers and the Magic Roundabout, and it was all very kind of surreal and in a kind of a weird way a bit nightmarish. There was a show called Ivor the Engine, that was a kind of a cutout style of animation, but it was just so creepy, and I think that's kind of where I draw a lot of the inspiration for my films.
See, now we're getting to the crux. We're digging a little deeper.
Bones.
It's nice to see how it all joins together though.
Well, you see, that's how animation works. You build stuff like a skeleton, all your arms and legs kind of joined onto the body so that you can kind of move one bit and everything else follows. I think the most interesting thing about this is that this is a rabbit, and yet it looks like something from a horror film.
God, it does. Well, I think that's enough dead animals for one day. What's up, donkey? Show me some love. Who needs you? So we've come to Mile Oak Farm to check out some real life animals. Let's go look at them.
Well, I started using animals in my videos for the very simple reason that you don't have to ask their permission to film them or to use images of them, which is kind of helpful if you actually want to make any money from what you're doing with them. I decided I wanted to make some kind of a music video for this song that I'd made, and I had a friend at the time who lived on a farm, and he just took photos of cows, and he had just thousands of photos of cows that he'd taken. And I couldn't honestly tell you what that video is about. It's just got cows and aliens and the destruction of London and robots and all sorts going on. There's some kind of sense buried in there somewhere. I could say that for all of my videos. There's always a kind of an underlying logic to them which might not be immediately apparent, even to me, as I'm making it. So the Cows and Cows video began life as a walk down the road one day with a camera in my pocket, and I passed a cow in a field. I looked at her and she looked at me, because it's a cow, you see, they're female, and they looked back at me, and I just thought, man, you are so stupid, aren't you? And I just had to take a video of this moment. From there, it was just kind of isolating moments of it that were interesting. There was a bit where it was nodding its head. I thought, oh, maybe I can have it rocking out to some music or something. And in the end, I had this kind of 2-minute film, and I thought, oh, that's kind of funny, I suppose. I'll stick that online. Like a week later, it had 1 million views, and then after a few weeks, it had 5 million. I thought, what the hell's going on here? Why is everyone so fascinated with this cow kind of bouncing around? And I still don't know what it is, but that video's just taken on such a life of its own now.
So I want to see that process. Obviously you've done it with cows, but maybe we could do it with...
Well, how about you?
with me?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome, let's go do that.
Okay. Right, well first we need to take some footage of you. So I'm going to film you up against this wall.
Okay.
And action.
Okay, I'm gonna wiggle my head.
Wiggle your head.
Like, like
Yeah,
a bottle
that's
movement?
good, yeah. Bring up your hands, let's see your hands. Hey, that's good. Pointing, yes. Excellent. Well,
Cool.
I think that's probably all we need.
Well, that was fun. What's the next step?
Right, well we've got the footage, so now all we need to do is transfer it into the computer and put it into After Effects. Here you are, doing your thing.
Looking glorious.
So the first thing I'd do is review the footage and just find bits that I think will be useful for animating.
Yeah.
So, for example, if we maybe just cut off your arm, just roughly for now, just to see what it looks like. And then we can move that layer somewhere else. This is a mask, so it's basically just a line that you draw around something to cut it out from the background. Anything outside that we don't see. And there's various things you can do with masks. We've given you some kind of an antler there made out of your hand.
Okay.
Down here in the timeline we've got the keyframes that tell that layer where to be at any particular time. And so if I play that, you can see how it's very rough at the moment, but it's starting to look like it's attached to your head. So you can spend some time just refining that using keyframes. So the next step is to tidy up those masks and make the whole thing look a bit more neat and tidy. Something I've found with After Effects is over the years, I'm always still learning stuff about it, even now. I never really have a fixed idea of what I'm going to do when I start doing it. So I don't kind of like go out and think, I need to take a video of a sheep running along to make a video out of it. I'll just be walking around and I'll see something happening and I might have a camera with me, and then later on I'll be bored and at my computer and I'll think, oh, let me see if I can just do something weird with that. These things just kind of grow kind of organically by themselves as I'm kind of experimenting on them. It's like there's a lot of improvising, really. It's improvisation, just really, really slow.
So we've got the animation, but where does the sound and the music come from?
Right, well, the software I use to make the music is called Fruity Loops. I can't read or write music myself, so it's ideal for me. And basically what you have here is a bank of instruments and a timeline, pretty much like the timeline in After Effects.
Yeah.
It has musical instruments, which you can program using this kind of keyboard here. I'm just kind of adding random notes here.
Yeah, nothing's set in stone.
No, yeah. If I just play that, you can see how it kind of scrolls along playing the tune.
Yeah.
So once you do that for each instrument, you end up with what you call a pattern, which is just a kind of a loop of music. And if we just play that, you can see what it sounds like.
Scary.
I had this idea in my head that I wanted to do music videos, and nobody was really asking me to do them. So I thought, well, I'll just make my own. So I was kind of making like short 3-minute videos with my own music and visuals, and as they became popular, I started getting interest from bands to make videos for them. I was approached by Ninja Tune to do a music video for Bonobo. And I thought, wow, I've actually heard of that band, which kind of made a change. The idea was to create a kind of a visual animated tapestry that the camera would pan along with all these separate animations montaged together to create a kind of a strange, surreal world from an alternative 1960s.
It's just sort of looped and chopped and bent and layered and, you know, beyond recognition. It's not really about the footage anymore, it's just about shapes and textures creating just this insane visual palette. The way the track creates these new layers of sound, he's doing the same, he's reflecting that within the layers of video. So we commissioned that video like a year before. So I was sitting on that. There's a few of us who had it on our laptops, and I was just showing people who were coming around to my house, and everyone's reaction was just a minute of silence, and then let me see it again. It kind of went through the roof in terms of like how it was received. If you look at all the YouTube comments, it's pretty much 90% people talking about Cyriak and 10% talking about the music. So it's one of those things that's really, the animation is so strong and such an incredible piece that I hate to use the word viral, but it seemed to sort of have that kind of effect.
I was approached by Block Party to make a video for them, for their track Ratchet. which means something I have no idea. They sent me the lyrics and I've read them and I've still no idea what the song's about. But my idea for that was to recycle all their old music videos, because I'd had a look at some of their old music videos and they were very kind of traditional. All my previous music videos hadn't really featured people playing their instruments, so I wanted to do something along those lines. And I thought it'd be good to reuse some of that old footage from their old videos and change it. It came out pretty much how I imagined it. I didn't have any solid plan going into it, but I never do. I just have a vague kind of idea in my head of what it's all going to end up like. And then it's just a case of just hammering this animation until it kind of resembles what you wanted it to be. Came out quite well, I thought. They liked it before they split up like a week later. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but I hope it's nothing to do with my video.
I'ma let you have your say, but I ain't let you have your way. I'ma let you have your say.
I won a music video award for the Eskimo music video, and I won first prize in the E-Stings competition, which was a nice surprise. It's nice to have stuff on the telly, for example. I was always very proud of the Genius TV show, because it was like all your life you've watched things on TV and then suddenly something you've done is on TV. So that was a kind of a high point for a while. The video I'm most proud of, I suppose, has to be the Cows and Cows and Cows video. Not because I think it's like an amazing piece of creative work or anything, it's just the kind of the strange life that it's had beyond me uploading it to YouTube, where people have kind of remixed it and made their own versions of it and danced around to it, and it's kind of become bigger than it actually is, in a way. As far as the future goes, I literally have no plans beyond what I'm having for dinner tonight. I never think about what I'm doing with my life or what I want to do next. I just let things happen as they happen. It's worked okay for the last 7 years. I just keep treading that path, I think. Look what you've become.
Oh no! Is this some kind of horrible demon spawn?
Here we see the flapping Bing monsters.
A herd.
A herd?
Of bingle.
A flock.
A flock of binglebees.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for showing me around Brighton and showing me your amazing process.
Oh, my pleasure.
It was brilliant, it was informative, a little bit scary at times, but well worth it, and I'm gonna let you get back to your work.
Cool, see you later.
Next time we're looking at manga, one of the biggest names in Japanese animation. So make sure you're subscribed to Hoo-Ha for every future episode. And if you've missed a few, here's the one we did with Lee Hardcastle, and here's the one we did with David Firth. My name's Bing, and I'll see you next time.